Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Unqualified Game Chat. I am your host, Azario Lopez, and with me is my co-host, Spencer, a legacy.
Hey there, everyone. How's it going?
How are you, Spencer?
I'm doing, as usual, I'm doing great. Thanks. I'm busy, almost done school, just working away, playing games, having a good time. How are you?
I'm good. I want to let you know that I think we, as they say, shot our load a little early last week when we brought up that the
The
PlayStation
story.
stores are closing and that it was a rumor. And the only reason, I'll tell you, the only reason that we brought up that I said it was a rumor was because some motherfucker on Twitter was like, "You're basing all of this off of bad reporting and it's a rumor and blah blah blah." And like N4G got on me calling it a rumor, saying that I can't post any opinion pieces on it because it's not
Wow.
true. So fuck you,
There
all
you
of you.
go. It must be validating though now that you're in the right.
When it happened, when it was announced, I was sad. But I wanted to spitefully respond to all those haters out there and be like, who's the bad reporting now? Huh? Who's the rumor mill now? Huh?
Not us.
Not
We figured it out.
We cracked the code. We checked. We sourced properly.
Someone cuts to me immediately from last week going, people are still making Vita games, so I don't think it's true. Cut to that embarrassing me.
I just think it's fucking hilarious because I'm over here, biggest Vita collection in at least my town, definitely my
Oh,
town,
absolutely.
uh,
Possibly your state.
possibly all of California.
Yeah, that's
But
impressive.
everyone's saying, "What physical Vita games? Get out of here!" Well, let me tell you, who's
Who's
laughing
laughing
now?
now?
When you guys all want to play games, when you want to play a Vita game, be like, "Oh, I can't buy them digitally. Oh, the store says it's $500." Well,
They'll be banging
no,
on your door. You'll look down, you'll say, no,
no,
no.
no, you can't play
Penny
Danganronpa
punching
V3
princess.
penny punching.
I don't think so.
No, you can't play. Uh,
Blaze Blue.
I'm sorry, Freedom Wars. That's already had its server shut down. You can't play.
Oh, you want to play Uncharted Golden Abyss?
Uh,
Hmm.
I can't think of any Vita games right now that are not on another console.
Uh oh yeah, P4G is on PC now.
Yeah. Unit 13. Next time you want to play Unit 13, don't come calling to me.
There you go. Next time you want to play the Jack and Daxter collection on the train?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Nope. Sony doesn't support your train rides anymore.
Not anymore.
But yeah, sad day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Vita loving craze is a little out of control. This hashtag Vita Island thing, I'm personally not about it. I just like to remove myself from those
From
words,
groups.
from groups, from anything that has more than 3 people. I'm usually,
Fandoms are dangerous. You don't want to get involved in a fandom.
you know,
They're
I
they're a bit
just see the
much.
people that hype up the Vita love. I see them and I'm like, I don't really like you, you know.
Meanwhile, there's us, and we're like, we love the Vita, but we're different than you.
Honestly, I'll be surprised if any of them actually have played the Vita within the last maybe 8 months.
Yeah,
Because
it's
because
true.
mine is picking up dust. I've been playing the PSP way more than the Vita. I think the
Hmm.
I think the PSP just has really charming games when compared to the Vita. That before here's a little announcement. I used to steal video games, pirate them.
Ooh, I've never ever done that ever, so I can look in judgment
Yes, yes.
as I
Uh,
hide my ROM folders
there's a there was a few studios that closed.
because
Um,
of you.
this is
Purely because of you, Azario.
who's the studio from Mylon Secret Castle? Who's the developer? Sorry. Hudson Soft.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'll tell you, when Hudson Soft closed, it was during the time that I was stealing PSP games, and Hudson Soft, Bomberman, Mylon Secret Castle, you know,
Yeah.
when they shut down and were absorbed by Konami, I thought that was my fault. So so
If
after
only
that,
we sold one more game, we'd be in business.
I stopped pirating PSP games specifically. It was just so
Nintendo.
easy. It was just so
Nintendo's
easy.
fair game.
It was just so easy, you know. And then I stopped. I just got a little lazy. Now I don't do it. I'll just buy the game. But yeah, I think I did it for one of our last gen episodes for one of the games that you talked about, a Dreamcast game.
Yeah.
I did.
It's okay. One of us owns it.
I did get the just because you didn't have gameplay of it, so I just downloaded an emulator.
What?
And played the beginning.
I said gameplay.
No. Of that game, but there was
the Neo Geo
the
one.
Neo Geo version.
Oh yeah.
So I
okay.
wanted to capture that, so I downloaded an emulator and did that. So
That's cool. The Neo Geo is cool.
Maybe I'm still a bad boy at heart.
Deep down, you can't change who you are. You're still that ruffian Azario that we know and love.
Always breaking the rules.
Always breaking the rules.
But I do not pirate games anymore.
Hear that, publishers? We never, ever do that. Ever.
You're saying it sarcastically, but it's not.
I'm not saying it sarcastically.
Okay.
I don't pirate games. I buy my games, although it'll be a lot harder to buy them now that the store is closing.
Yep. You can't get Persona Portable for $20 anymore.
No, exactly. You won't be able to get
Vita. I think the Vita is a bad choice. They should not close that store down. That's freaking mean. Because there's still developers that are planning releasing on the Vita, and their game's going to be up for 3 months and then leave. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's messed up.
That is messed up, and I guess there was no notice either.
Get it together, Sony. Get it together.
Come on, Sony. We trust you.
Spencer, as you know, this podcast is recorded every week and posted to podcast services. You got your Apple, your YouTubes, your Spotify's. Subscribe to us there. Leave us a review. We love it. Leave us a comment. We also love it. Share it every
I read
Thursday.
them all feverishly when I need that bump in self-esteem. So make sure you leave all those comments.
Those mornings when it's hard to get out of bed and you look at your phone and the screen's really bright. So you're like,
oh, what's this? A comment about me. And it says you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I go, oh.
Brightens up my day.
Brightens up the day.
But yeah, I'd like to open up the floor for what you are currently playing.
Well, like a lot of people in our industry, I've mostly been playing Monster Hunter Rise.
It's the rise of the Monster Hunter.
The Rise of the Monster Hunter. I think it's my third Monster Hunter game. I played one on the PSP long ago. Then I played World with Iceborne, and then I played Rise. And it's a lot of fun. It's smaller in scope, which makes sense. It's on Switch. You can't expect like an enormous huge game, but I'm still surprised by how much they do on there. There's like so many visually impressive areas and monsters on the Switch, and it's dang fun to just murder all these monsters and make cool clothes with them. I've been doing it outside of doing homework. I've been doing that most of the week, and this one is also very single player friendly if you don't like playing with other people. Like I did the whole story to the credits without anyone, and it wasn't hard. So it's this seems like a very good first Monster Hunter game if you didn't jump in on World, because if you want to see what all the hype is, I'd say Monster Hunter Rise is a good start because it's very welcoming. It cuts some of the fat features that are harder. It gives all the basics. It's a great way to get into it if you've ever wanted to get into Monster Hunter, I think.
I'm a God Eater fan.
Nice.
And again, that's just my hipster side talking because I know that God Eater doesn't have any
Monster Hunter.
Yeah. So with Monster Hunter, how long does a typical campaign take? How long did this campaign take?
This one was short. This one, like, if you just do the essential missions, I don't know how long I put into it, but it was a lot shorter than I expected. There's still like two tiers of missions
Hmm.
after the story that you can still do, which is why it's weird that the story ends where it does.
Did you get
Uh,
emotionally invested in any of the characters?
no,
Did you see
no,
yourself? Did you see yourself as the monster hunter
as the hunter,
of monsters?
somewhat. I mean, you can make it look like you, which is fun, but I wasn't like immersed in that. I was like, I'm on an Anjanath. Oh, I wasn't like going crazy or anything, but I had a lot of fun. I'm an insect glaive guy because I like flying around and spinning a stick like Darth Maul. So had a lot of fun doing that. And yeah, I can't say I was emotionally invested, but I'm I'm not the most experienced with Monster Hunter, but I know that that ain't why you go to Monster
Yeah,
Hunter.
that is not the reason.
Oh, you
That is
go
definitely not the reason.
to hunt monsters. That's it.
Did you feel like you got your fill of
I
hunting?
I think so. I got to the point where like after the story, I did a bunch of missions, and I was like, okay, like I'll play this more with friends, but I don't feel like I'm not like, man, I wish there was more. I'm like, that's a good amount. So
Mhm.
I think there was a good filling amount.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Hey, I look at a game like Monster Hunter Rise from a third party and see how it does look really pretty. And I imagine if we would have waited this long for another Xenoblade, I imagine it would have looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Because as good as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is, it's very ugly in dog in handheld mode. Extremely ugly. To the point
Look
where you're
at how
just
good definitive looks.
it's so JPEGy, you know? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? By
That JPEG
JPEGy?
feel where you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
very, yeah. And I just wish we just held off a little bit. Because now we're coming to the realm where there might be a new Switch, a 4K Switch. And I can
mhm.
only imagine that Nintendo's gonna do their whole new Switch exclusive games, you know, like they
Yeah.
did with the new 3DS and they give us three games.
Yeah.
And
But they're like actually they're like big title games, so you're like,
fuck me
I
up.
want to play them.
I got it. I got the Xenoblade Chronicles. I got the what is it? The Zelda Warriors. And I think
Yeah. Fire Emblem Warriors and Zelda Warriors, right?
Fire Emblem Warriors, Zelda, and I think that's it. Those are the three games for new.
And oh, Luigi's Mansion, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't think so, but
And
maybe.
I know SNES games. Like if you wanted to play Earthbound, you needed a new 3DS.
Really,
Yeah,
the power of the new
power.
that that game is just way too powerful.
It is. I got a new 2DS like a year ago for like $100, and
Beautiful.
good investment. Good
Yeah,
investment.
yeah. There's a few there's a few Nintendo systems that you need to own, and you got the Game Boy DS Lite.
Yeah,
Got to have a DS Lite.
you got it. Not the chunky one, just the light.
Yeah, because you got the Game Boy Advance cartridge, and you got
Yeah,
the you know, get a Game Boy SP too while you're at it.
yeah. Why not? That's a
Get an
great little
SP.
system. It's backlit. It's perfect.
It looks like a cell phone. I used to pretend in when I was a freshman that it was a cell phone, and I put it in my ear. Got that
You're
shit
like,
stolen.
hello. Oh, hey, my good friend Elwood.
I
What's going on?
remember I was doing that in class, and I left. Went to the bathroom or something, came back and checked my bag, and later that day it was stolen. So
Leaving valuables in
don't
your high
pretend it
school
wasn't. It's a
class.
phone. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Don't make sure you don't pretend it's phone. It'll get stolen still
Mhm.
to this day.
To this day, I mean, everyone wants an SP, clamshells. Um, but I digress. So thank you for letting me know what you played.
No, yeah. What have you been playing?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I've been playing. Well, I played, and the review is up. It Takes Two,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's that Hazel Light Studios game. It's co-op.
Heard good things.
I I am not a co-op player. I'm not even a team player.
I
You
feel
know
that completely. That's why we get along so well. Neither of us like other people.
exactly. You can tell I'm a hater. through and through. I'm a hater.
Groups of 3 is too much.
Yeah, that's me. And so when I got what I wanted from It Takes Two is to learn to accept cooperation in a video game.
That's a tall order.
I'm a lone gamer, so I had my my girlfriend play with me, and she's not very good at video games, but we got through it, and I yelled at her a couple times. I had to take a couple breaks. She threw up once.
What?
Because she got motion sick.
I thought it was from you yelling.
No. No, it was, there's this boss. There's this boss. Let me dial it back. Let me dial it back. I didn't hit her, and then she threw up.
Whoa, I didn't say anything about hitting.
I didn't yell at her. Then she threw up. I yelled at her
because she threw up.
No, okay, so I'll tell you what happened after she threw up. But because she threw up, there's this wasp boss that you have to run around and it's just, there's a lot of moving parts, and she's not used to the right stick using as a camera. And I don't think about this stuff as I review games. That is a weird thing to teach to somebody, that to control the camera, you got to take your fingers off of the buttons. Like, it comes so naturally to us. But to her, she's like, why isn't the camera moving with me? And I was like, you got to move it yourself. Like, what are you doing? And
that's weird. Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
But I bought her her own PS5 controller. We went all in on this co-op experience. So after she threw up, I said thank you for putting up with it, because she was feeling sick during the battle. I was like, let's just get through this battle and then we can put on pause. So she's a soldier. She got through it. We got through it together. And
did it strengthen your relationship?
I'm gonna say it did. I'm gonna say, if anything, it taught her how to play video games a little more. And she's never into the video games I played. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake. She was on her phone, and I couldn't she was just typing on her phone, typing away, and I couldn't explain to her, look at what's going on this screen. It is fucking amazing. And you are watching TikTok videos and Instagram videos.
It's like when your dad wants you to watch sports and you're like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah, no, that is how I try Spencer so hard to explain.
I know you do.
The brilliance of these video games, but little by little, she's really into Story of Seasons.
There you go. That's a start.
It's a start. But yeah, so I played that, and I also played a game that I want to highlight called Record of Lodoss War, Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth. It is like a Castlevania Symphony of the Night love letter. Oh my god. Like $15. It's based off the anime Record of the Lodoss War. If you ever watched it, you're probably really old. But it has those characters in it, and it's just a great game from the developer Team Ladybug, who also did that Toho Lunar Nights game, and that's also a game that you should play if you like those Castlevania games. And that's all I have to say about that.
That's quite a title. I'll definitely be texting you after the recording to be like, what was that again?
Yeah, the review is up on noisypixel.net.
Oh, that makes it easier.
Yeah. Record of Lodoss War, Deedlit in Wonder Labyrinth.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a novel.
So, honestly, Spencer, I forgot what our topic was today. But if you remember...
I do.
Please remember. Please.
Our topic was series versus new IPs.
Oh, yes.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Let me preface this conversation with, it's a question that I usually ask during an interview, especially Japanese developers. I want to know their thoughts on having to continually deliver a series and never express something new. And it's why I think you have Sakaguchi leaving Final Fantasy. You have these the developer of Danganronpa, Uchikoshi-san, leaving Spike Chunsoft and making their own studio. I mean, or not Uchikoshi, 99 series, Uchikoshi for the 99 series. But you have all those guys leaving Spike Chunsoft and creating their own studio. And I think that it has to do with being stuck on someone else's payroll that's telling you what to create.
Yeah.
Sakaguchi could have died making Final Fantasy.
Oh, absolutely, and lived very comfortably.
Yeah, he could have been totally fine. So what I want to do is I want to ask you, like, what do you prefer, and what's a good balance?
Yeah, well, it's tough to say what I prefer because new IPs have so much potential to be good or bad. You can see this week with Balan Wonderworld, where that's a new IP, and I was very hopeful for it because it looks like a Dreamcast game, and I love my Dreamcast. But it took a risk, and judging from all the reviews I've seen, it did not pay off. But on the other hand, there are plenty of sequels that you can count that aren't good. So I think it really depends on what you're playing, and I think the really nice middle ground is spin-offs. So Persona to Shin Megami Tensei, or Dragon Quest Monsters, or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Games that can use an existing IP while being totally different, almost like a new franchise. I think that's the really great middle ground because it gives you room to experiment and try new things while still having the branding and the backing power of a series like Pokemon. So if it comes down to it, I'm always down to try like a weird spin-off because it's like, oh, I know Final Fantasy monsters. Let's see what's in this mystery dungeon game. Like, why not? I like the thing, so we'll see what it's about. So I think while it's hard to pick between new IPs and sequels necessarily, I think the really nice middle ground is spin-offs because you can do so much weird stuff, and sometimes it takes on a life of its own, like with Persona, where it becomes its own series. So I think that's really the best way to go if you're looking to experiment.
For me, I think it's kind of sad that developers are forced to create a game and then have some type of licensed character in it in order to be successful. People are way less willing to play a game without it though. And I think that sucks. It's like but then some games blow us away. I mean, Fortnite, like no one thought that game was gonna
exactly. I remember it came out and it like wasn't doing well with PvE, and then it exploded.
Oh my gosh, they were begging for coverage.
Yeah, now they've got Star Wars, Marvel, everyone knocking on their door.
So I think my issue is more with niche games. It's disappointing. It's disappointing that I won't see some studios take on new projects, and they're always just advancing their already established IPs. You have Koei Tecmo, they're always going to do Dynasty Warriors something, they're always going to do a Warriors game. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough because I look at the old games that publishers have worked on. Atlas, for example, the games that they published were so niche on like PS3, PS2,
all
PSP.
Sorts of crazy stuff.
They did a bunch of crazy stuff from developers that I've never heard of, and now all people fucking care about is Persona.
Yep.
And Shin Megami Tensei. That's it. And then now they're pigeonholed. Now that's all people want from them. I like the studios like Spike Chunsoft who are like branching out and really trying to dig in. We have Falcom, who I think gets a little too much credit. The only reason, hot take.
Batten down the hatches.
I love their games. I love Trails of Cold Steel. I love Legend of Heroes. Okay, let's just put that out there. But I think that we only like them because they're the only people doing it, And I think that someone could have probably did it better.
You know who does lots of different things really well? Nice America. I go on their press request site. I see 8 titles I've never heard of, and
Yeah.
I'm like, nice. I like that.
Well, like them and like Idea Factory and stuff, they're running out of they're running out. They need to find that Falcom, They need to find that new Falcom because you had Falcom just blow up with Xseed and NIS America kind of fighting over who's gonna localize it, who's gonna publish it. And then now Xseed is like publishing some weird games. You have access to publishing some weird
Yeah.
games because all of these studios started establishing American bases, so they don't need a publisher anymore. They have their
Mhm.
publisher here. That's why Spike Chunsoft set up a U.S. company. That's why Idea Factory did it too a long time ago. And I think the first game that they put out was like Monster Mon Piece on Vita.
Yeah.
But so that's basically them taking away like a sizable portion of games. NIS America used to even publish the Atelier series.
Oh yeah.
Koei Tecmo took that from them after the Atelier series kind of started kicking up,
Mhm.
picking up some steam. Um, but I mean, if they didn't do that, then no one would have brought over Atelier games. So you gotta hand it to NS America.
Yeah.
People have their whatever about them, but there's a lot of games that we wouldn't have if it wasn't for them. Um, and same with Xseed, but it's getting tougher to find the new Falcom, the new the new JRPG developer from Japan that's just gonna blow us away with something great because there's so few of them now. You
It's
had like
true.
Chaos Rings on the Vita for like no, we didn't even get it. But you have so many weird games that never were published and never got anywhere because they couldn't find a publisher.
Yeah.
And that's where we're stuck right now. It's like, well, all we have for niche JRPGs is um Trails of Cold Steel. And then you have, I mean, how many people played Caligula Effect? That's like
Yeah, it's true.
it's it's different, You know what I really liked is the 3DS is like the 3DS had a good lineup of really strange JRPGs that came out.
It did. It had just a really diverse lineup of that. Like very varied. Like
Yeah.
anything you could want, there was something.
Yeah. I think developers like Furyu don't get enough attention. Um but you have all these like Falcom lovers. That's my thing. And I've said this before.
There's more than 3 of them.
It's when we focus too much on one person and one series, we forget that there are other games out there that deserve our attention. And we completely look past them as we argue about the lore and the story and who ships who and what happened in this and what we're looking forward to in this series. Like there are a ton of games out there and a ton of series and a ton of developers that might deserve our attention more. And they don't succeed because we don't give it to them.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
you wouldn't have series like Atelier or some of the other ones unless it was for people who took chances.
It's true.
Even everyone. Okay, so Arc Systems Works created their own U.S. base too, but they don't publish exclusive Arc System Works developed games. Xe did Grand Blue Fantasy, and that's an Arc Systems Works developed game, but
Yeah,
they do have a weird ass lineup of published titles.
it's true.
Nobody plays them.
That's also pretty true.
Yeah, no one freaking plays them. I just find that interesting.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why we don't see a lot of new IPs is because people don't support them.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's comforting to see something you're familiar with. That's why nostalgia works so well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough to break out of that shell sometimes, but you got it if you want to find the next classic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was the only reason why Trails of Cold Steel became popular here.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco used to publish those games. Koei Tecmo published a few of them on PS2.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Ys, but yeah, that series has been kicked around for a while, and I don't know. I really appreciate people taking chances on developers, but I think we've kind of fallen off that where we're not seeing too many chances being taken by a big collection of them, and that's why you have games like the Atelier series is getting a trilogy in April, but they're not releasing it physically. There is just a
Yeah.
digital release.
Just in case.
Yeah, it's like, yo, you got to do the bare minimum to make your money back there because you
Yeah.
know you're not going to sell shit. But
It's true.
we'll see. We'll see.
We shall see.
And that's
Support
that's
weird games, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you have a series that comes to mind that kind of you played and wished that got a sequel and never did?
Definitely like a lot of weird Dreamcast games, like one that we covered in last gen.
Okay.
As a kid, I was like, I'd love more of this. I'd love for them to refine this, but they made one more and they were like, this isn't working. So like there's definitely stuff out there that I think I'd love more of.
Mm-hmm.
But off the top of my head, that's tough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the spot. I don't know. Do you have any in your mind?
I think that's why I'm so excited for Mistwalker's new game, Fantasia.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
I don't give a fuck if it's an our Apple Arcade exclusive. It just looks like something new.
Yeah.
Finally, something new. God, that's all I need. You know, when I say this, but I do want a new Tales of game really badly. Yeah.
I mean, you can want both.
Okay.
That's normal.
Okay. Yeah. See, I say that, but I am a fanboy about sequels and stuff. But I don't think that new IPs should be exclusive to indie developers.
Yeah.
To find the next big thing. I think that I think that publishers should take a lot more chances on new IPs.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
Fair.
But we gotta buy it, I guess. I guess it all comes down to if it sells or not.
Gotta vote with your wallets.
Gotta vote with your wallets. You know, I doubt there would have been a Caligula effect too if so many people didn't support that game, from the Vita to the what else did it come out on? It came out on everything else, right? It came out on like Switch or PS4 or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Overdose. It came out as an Overdose, Caligula effect Overdose, and that was like
I never played it.
the remade version. It's okay.
Yeah.
It has a steady fan base, but I don't know. I just want to see more. I just want to see how far these developers can really push their imagination and their creativity.
Yeah, I want to see new stuff. I want to see weird stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of why I liked Balan Wonderworld. Haven't played it, but I like the idea of it because it's fucking weird.
Exactly, and that's why I'm so sad that
when I was editing the review video of that, I saw the cutscene of the dolphin and the girl like kind of in a romantic relationship. It looked like. Is that true?
I haven't played it yet. I have no idea.
Someone tell me if that's true.
That sounds concerning. I'll say that.
Well, Spencer, I think that's been a long episode.
I think so.
Waving our entitled gamer dicks around.
Yep, throwing it in people.
I think if everyone listens to the end of these episodes, I get pretty dumb at the end.
No, you're just food deprived right now.
That's what
you're tired and hungry.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
But thank you so much for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.